this year, 2010, 2012.
I'm Nina Goff. I'm from the Utah Republicans. I think a great way to do it is by getting more young people involved, by going to those high schools, getting them registered to vote, expressing what the Republican ideals is, because that's what the Democrats are doing. They're not going to the colleges, they're also going to the high schools. They're getting them before they can even vote. We've even passed the colleges. We're not getting them until after they leave college, mostly. So they have an 8-year head start. We need to get them young. That's what we need to be doing. And by going to high schools, by actually looking at our internet and actually doing something with the website, not having it be an afterthought. I go to lots of Republican websites. They look like an afterthought. You go to the Democrats, and they're glossy and they're interactive, and we need to do more of that stuff. Because that's where the young people go. They go to the internet to get their information.
Well, let me make 2 points. Number one, your second one's absolutely correct. We put a lot of money into redoing our website. It took us about 5 months to get it done right. It's back up. It is interactive. It is a place that we think is going to make a difference and allows us to communicate, A, amongst ourselves. Just communicating amongst ourselves is important. And B, the point you make on the young is correct. But here's what you have to do. You don't just say we have to go to the high schools. You got to explain how to do it. And let me tell you how to do it. Again, it's money. If you put $50 or $100 into the Republican group in your local high school, what they can do with that in terms of having events with refreshments that attract their young men and young women, all those things that high school kids like to do, believe it or not, gets enhanced by their capacity to spend a little bit of money, put posters up and whatever. And we've done that in a number of schools in the state of New Hampshire, and the response has been phenomenal. So it's not just knowing what we want to do. We've got to start communicating amongst ourselves the good nitty-gritty on how to do it. And I really do suggest to you, one place where you get a lot of bang for your buck is helping the 3 high school Republicans you can identify in a high school come together, give them a little bit of money, and encourage them to go and get 30 or 300 put together as an organization. Help them, they'll help us.
Yeah, Governor, thanks for being here. Just kind of follow up on that. One of the problems that I see with, not necessarily, well, under the under 35 group is, we have, everyone in the room may disagree with this, we have raised generations, at least 1 or 2 generations, with a tremendous sense of entitlement. They believe they are entitled to many things. They're entitled to their iPod, they're entitled to their car, they're entitled to that great job, they're entitled to their health care benefits, they're entitled to this, which is what I believe President Obama, candidate Obama, ran on. You're entitled to all these things, and I will give them to you. And just following up on that, how do we change that mentality?
Well, we thank President Obama because he's screwing them royally, and they're going to wake up pretty quickly. Let me tell you, you're absolutely right in this context. Quite often people say, oh, isn't this a wonderful generation? They don't care about money. And my response is they don't care about money because they've never had to worry about money. And what we are seeing now with the economic disaster the president continues to fail to address is really creating an opening of the eyes and opening of the ears. But you can't wait until that sets in. I go back to almost what I said about the high schools. You really have to find a handful of dedicated conservative Republicans in that age group within your communities. And you've got to ask them, what do they need in order to communicate with their peers to begin to move things forward? They'll start off and telling you all about the technology tools they use, Twitter and Facebook and so on. And that's part of it. But you don't get commitment on a philosophy until you get somebody in the room and look at them eye to eye. I'm an absolutely firm believer of that. And so we've got to help them gather people together and find a way to regularize the personal communication that goes beyond the emails and the Twitters and the Facebook. And if we spend a little bit of our state committee money for groups such as that, I think you'll get a tremendous return on your investment.
Next question.
Josephine Wen from the great state of Maryland. Governor, I have one question for you, and that is, how do you fight the Hollywood powerful, negative, should I say, message that sent out to the young people? I think their minds are being poisoned, and that they have a lot of money, such as Barbara Streisand, all those people. It's very difficult to fight that. As a school teacher, we can't compete with that. So it's very, very difficult. So would you answer that question?
Well, look, we have to help those that are helping us do that. The left hates our conservative talk show hosts, but they're very much a part of combating that. It hates the conservative speakers we have on television and the media. We have to encourage them and give them the ammunition. And frankly, the other thing to do is to not be polite. And what do I mean by that? On Hollywood, I would hang Roman Polanski around every Hollywood contributor's neck. And I would tar them with guilt by association, because that's where they get their funds from their colleagues and associates. The point you make, though, is even more important when you extend it to how do we get a better message into the schools. And I really do suggest to you that we underestimate how many really good and constructive school teachers there are in the system. And we have to find mechanisms to communicate with them. We held a meeting the other day in the city of Dover. Phyllis Wood, who was here earlier, helped organize it. And we had a handful of school teachers who eventually came up and told us they were school teachers and wanted us to help provide them with information and support that they could take advantage of in the system. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not going to happen as much as we want between now and 2010. But every little bit that we contribute in terms of advice and information, there are some DVDs responding to the garbage DVDs that are circulating through the school system. Make an investment and help the teachers that care about doing things right and get their hands on those materials. But most importantly, I go back to what I said earlier. Talk, 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 talk. Get on the radio when you have a chance to talk to a call-in show. Get a letter into the editor. Don't be shy at the next cocktail party. Don't feel uncomfortable at this. And in New England, this is the best place to communicate. Don't be uncomfortable when you go to the supermarket, the post office, or the dump. Talk to people and let them know, because the more they hear that people are as uncomfortable and as angry as they are, they will continue to carry the message across the board. So it really is important to talk, 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 talk. Are you tapping your watch on me?
No, actually, you're being upstaged by another governor.